Welcome to Skift Travel Spotlight, the future of tourism in Saudi Arabia. Saudi's Vision 2030 was announced in 2016 as a broad economic transformation strategy aimed at diversifying its economy with tourism as a central pillar. To achieve this, hundreds of billions of dollars are being invested into giga projects across deserts, mountains, and waterfronts, all of which are expected to be operational by 2030. This strategic investment in tourism is incredibly ambitious, and its scale is unprecedented among destinations. In this podcast, Skift explores the vision, progress, innovations, and opportunities shaping travel in Saudi Arabia through a series of conversations recorded at and around the World Travel Market in London. Hello and welcome to Skift Travel Spotlight, the future of tourism in Saudi Arabia. In this episode, Kate Anderson, creative strategist at Skift, speaks with Hazim Al-Hazm to discuss progress towards Vision 2030 goals and how he sees tourism reshaping the country going forward.
Hello. I'm speaking with Hazim Al-Hazm, President of Europe and Americas at Saudi Tourism Authority. It's great to have you here on the podcast.
Very nice to be here, Kate, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to participate and share some of our views when it comes to the tourism topic from a Saudi perspective.
Great. Well, let's dive right in. So recently, the Saudi Ministry of Tourism revised its 2030 target to 150 million visitors. That's up from the initial 100 million. What's the thinking behind reaching for this even bigger tourism goal?
So as some of the listeners might know, Saudi has been embarking on a very ambitious journey to build a legacy in the tourism sector that has started in 2019. We have a very clear vision to be amongst the top 5 global destinations for inbound travelers by 2030. And for that, we are investing across the value chain to ensure that we not only have the right to win in this arena, but also be able to achieve those results on a steady way. As we started our journey, results came in the first 3 years in a way that positively surprised us. By the end of 2022, we had already reached around 96 million visitors that include both domestic and inbound visitors. Saudi, as a country, leadership thinks in a very agile way, a way that is consistent with all the changes that happen in the environment and context. As we had approached our original target for 2030, very early on, leadership thought that it is a good idea for us to revise the targets up. We like to stay on the edge, always stretch ourselves to achieve bigger and better results as we move forward. And as such, a decision has been done to revise the targets up. And now our new target by 2030 is to receive around 150 million visits per year.
And certainly a really exciting goal and milestone to be aiming for. And curious, as the president for Europe and Americas at Saudi Tourism Authority, would love to hear your thoughts on what role the U.S. and European markets are going to play in Saudi's overall tourism strategy.
Well, the markets I look after, predominantly North America, South America, and Europe, are very important markets for us. There is a great addressable market. There are numbers of visitors that are leading the world in terms of outbound tourism. We would like to capture some of that opportunity. The different visitor segments there enjoy a great deal of purchasing power. They look for the new, and we believe we can enjoy some of that value. Additionally, for both Europe and the US specifically. Visitors there are very highly influential in their ability to influence the global travel trends and tastes. It is important for us to connect with those segments, serve them right, and hopefully they will have testimonies, positive ones, about Saudi as a tourism destination, which will enable us also to roll out into other source markets globally as well.
Absolutely. So it's kind of the combination of that purchasing power and the global influence as well in the markets. What type of experiences will Saudi Arabia offer to the millions of visitors that are going to be coming to the country?
Well, having read all the research and insight pieces about the level of awareness and knowledge that visitors within Europe and the Americas know about Saudi as a tourism destination, we believe there is a huge gap between what they think and what reality is. In fact, Saudi is not just a destination that is reflective of desert and desert dunes. We definitely have those, and we believe that the experiences we've built around those contexts are amazing and worthy of visitation. However, Saudi is also very diverse from a topography perspective, from a cultural perspective. This land has been in the crossroads of global trade routes historically, from Asia in the east to Africa in the west and Europe in the north. So you would find a lot of traces from different cultures, different backgrounds, and that is reflective in our art, culture, heritage, fashion, architecture, and the tourism plan and the tourism vision that we have enable us to show the world who we really are and what we have to offer. I'll give you an example. Saudi, on the west coast of Saudi, we enjoy around 1,800 kilometers of coastal line on the Red Sea, one of the most beautiful, pristine seas in the world, where marine life is still vibrant, and for that opportunity to be salvaged, we have announced a number of projects across this coastal line to provide great experiences for different kinds of segments and different tiers. I'll give you a couple of examples. We have the Red Sea project, where 2 hotels are already operational, Ascent Regis and the Six Senses. In addition to that, the Sindala Island in Neom is going to operate 3 hotels by the middle or by summer this year, whereby travelers who enjoy sun and sea, and we know that in Europe and Americas, more than 50% of travelers who travel outside look for sun and sea offerings as a primary travel purpose and a travel activity. In addition to the coastal lines, we believe today Saudi, with its diverse offering and being a home of around 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, could pertain to consumers or visitors who are looking for culture, heritage, adventure. There is a lot of developments there. In Jeddah, for example, which is a cultural melting pot on the west side of Saudi Arabia. There is Dir'iyah, which is adjacent to Riyadh, more than 300-year-old town that is the birthplace of Saudi Arabia and has a lot of that Arabian culture and heritage influence. We have Medina, which is one of the 2 holy cities that is open for even non-Muslims from across the world to come and visit and see what the land of Arabia and uh, where the Islamic civilization started, and can enjoy a lot of activities there. In addition to those, we also have programmed a world-class events program and events calendar that has so many cultural, sporting activities and festivals. For example, Middle East is the largest music cultural festival in the Middle East, and probably one of the largest in the world. In 2022, I believe we received around 700,000 visitors to that music festival. We also host the Red Sea Film Festival. We host an F1 circuit in Jeddah. A lot of, in addition to a lot of sporting events such as world-class boxing events for heavyweights and other weights as well. So many football or soccer events. Just last night we hosted the Italian Super Cup final between Inter Milano and Napoli. 2 weeks before, we hosted the Spanish Super Cup between Real Madrid and Barcelona. So many sporting events happen, cultural events that are only going to be more and better in the future.
Yeah, and it's exciting to hear about just the diversity of experiences that will be available, and listeners can learn more about quite a few of these projects by listening to the other episodes in the podcast. So, final question for today: how are you targeting American and European travelers to come visit Saudi Arabia?
So, Saudi as a tourism destination is if you like, is a challenger brand. You know, it's coming relatively later to the game. However, we are capitalizing on all learnings from other destinations, the things that we should learn from and do better, and the things that we should avoid as well. So in order to do that, we need to tackle different parts of what we call our tourism value chain and marketing funnel. Basically, we need to build two major relationships. One, with the travel trade, which are our most important strategic partner in this journey. I personally and a lot of my other colleagues travel around the world, attending the most major trade shows where we have an opportunity to showcase Saudi and tell our story, show the opportunity, and explain to the travel trade partners how Saudi could be a significant element of their business portfolio. We also invest in inviting trade partners who are interested in Saudi as a destination into fam trips where they can get a glimpse of Saudi, see the product and experiences for themselves, and through that able to curate the right packages for their clientele of visitors and customers. We are also investing a lot in improving connectivity. When we talk about connectivity and accessibility, we talk about airline routes, either fortifying existing ones by including higher frequency to the most popular routes, or even establishing new routes. If I talk about Europe and America specifically, as an example, the UK, if I look at the UK, we have around 51 inbound flights weekly through different airlines. That number is being expanded as we speak, connecting different cities in the UK and Saudi. We are connected to London, both airports in London, Heathrow and Gatwick. We have launched a route from Birmingham, and we have an existing route from Manchester as well. In addition, for example, the US, if you look at the US market, I believe we have 17 direct flights that is coming from Los Angeles, New York, and Washington, D.C. to both Jeddah and Riyadh. In addition, of course, to all the indirect routes that could, where travelers can come into Saudi through other airlines. In Europe, we had a great experience with Wizz Air. the past year, where we had a strategic plan to increase frequency of flights, offer a different clientele an opportunity to come to Saudi with a value proposition that is within their capability. We are intending to expand that. We're also intending to learn from that experience and create more partnerships, strategic ones, with the major airlines who are interested into building value through our destination as well.
Well, similarly, lots of exciting partnerships already in place, and I'm sure more to come on the horizon.
I would like to add one final point, that is important for me. So as I have mentioned the importance of trade, we also fully acknowledge the importance of creating and fostering a healthy relationship with the travelers directly as well. Mm-hmm. And for that, our brand, Saudi, Welcome to Arabia, is a very important continuous investment that we have. We continue building awareness, knowledge to improve the consideration and conversion across the value chain and across the marketing funnel through our different media channels, conventional ones, in addition to a strong digital presence where we are able to showcase what Saudi has to offer and pertain to the needs of specific segments that would be interested in Saudi. Hopefully, great brands were not built in a year or two. That takes time. However, we are fast-tracking that investment. We are showcasing Saudi, and we will continuously also support our trade partners by doing the consumer marketing. That would help our trade partners salvage better and bigger value. We invest with them through trade marketing and incentive programs that will make Saudi a good business opportunity, but also directly and in support to these investments, we are stimulating demand with the consumers and visitors directly, and we will keep doing that. Having me and perhaps in the future other colleagues as guests in your platform is a great opportunity for us that we appreciate a lot, and we look forward to more engagements in the future.
Absolutely, as do we. And again, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and thank you for being here.
This has been another episode of the Skift Travel Spotlight, the future of tourism in Saudi Arabia, brought to you in partnership with the Saudi Tourism Authority. To learn more, head to visitsaudi.com. Thanks for listening.